Yesterday was probably one of the worst days that there's ever been in cryptocurrency. If not the worst, at least in the top 3. And I wanted to quickly make this video today to talk about what this means for cryptocurrency and where it could go in the future. So I apologise if this isn't as edited as my normal videos, I just wanted to get it out ASAP. I know some of you aren't interested in cryptocurrency, but if you are, or if you're considering it, it's worth watching this video because I think we really need to talk about the current state of cryptocurrency. So yesterday, one of the most popular cryptocurrencies in the world, Luna, lost over 98% of its value. This is literally a top 10 coin that was worth over $100 and now it's worth, I think, under $1, maybe even 20 cents. And why it's so serious is a lot of people have had their whole house in this, their life savings, and they've lost virtually everything. People are posting messages saying they're suicidal, which if you do feel that way, please just talk to somebody. It's only money at the end of the day. I know it hurts, but it's not worth that. So if you could take a second, I would appreciate it if you can like this video just so we can try and get it out to as many people as possible. So some of you might be thinking, what the hell is a Luna? Well, it all comes down to this thing called UST. Now UST is a cryptocurrency that aims to be something called a stablecoin. Now the idea of a stablecoin is actually really good. So with cryptocurrency, it fluctuates, it goes up, it goes down. Which in my book, something like Bitcoin, it's never going to be fully usable until it stabilizes. So the idea of UST, similar to USD, is that it will always stay being worth $1. Now for them to be able to do that, it has to be pegged against something. So there's things like USDC, which is pegged against gold, but this one, UST, aims to be pegged against Luna, which is its own algorithm. So essentially it's a complicated mathematic formula, but it aims to use one to balance the other. So aims to keep this one always at $1. Now a lot of people really like this, and the reason they like it, where the other one's pegged against gold, which actually gives it some kind of intrinsic value. When it's based against its own formula, it makes it completely decentralized. So it's not tied to any kind of currency at all. It's not actually backed by any dollars like some or gold. It's just backed by its own algorithm. But with that comes problems. Now to figure out what actually happened and caused Luna to crash, it's actually quite complicated and you need to read between the lines. But it seems from what you can gather, now don't take my word for this, but this is what I gather, the owner was working with BlackRock, the hedge fund company, and they wanted to kind of have 150 worth of this UST. Now he was a bit naive in thinking that they could do this. It seems like they kind of did it so they could make money themselves and buy back at a cheaper price. No surprise there, but as this happened, a huge attack was launched on the platform. Now, this isn't just some guy sitting in his bedroom. These people had over $3 billion in funds to pull this off. And it's estimated that they've made around 800 million. So as always, it's the big guys that succeed and the little guys that are left wanting to freaking kill themselves and all this crazy stuff. Now personally, I felt like I had to comment on this because I do boast about Anchor. I had $21,600 in it. Luckily, I did manage to save it. I missed actually the big drop. It went from being worth $1 to worth 30 cents. Last night it came back up to 88, but I tried to wait a little bit and put a stop order, which didn't work, which was fantastic. So anyway, this morning I managed to sell for 0.73, but luckily I had already made 20%, so the fall wasn't that much. I think I've got $16,000 out of my 21,000, but my initial investment was 18,000, so I'm actually down, I think in total around maybe up to $2,000. So what happened, the way he was able to get the price back up is literally trashing the other one. So basically he trashed Luna to get the other one back up, hoping that Luna will come back up in the future. But you've got to remember there are billions of dollars involved in this. I think the owners actually even added over $1 billion to try and solve the problem, which is just mind-blowing. And people do really want this project to work, because why not? I mean, why not have some stable cryptocurrency? It gives you a 20% return and it works. Now that 20% was never really stable. From my view, I thought the 20% would just come down to maybe 2 or 3%, but I didn't think that underlying peg would drop so far. And it does suck, and I feel a bit crappy about it. The last 12 hours have been awful. That's money I need for a house deposit, so it would suck to lose, but hey ho, we live and learn. But this really got me thinking, what does this actually mean for the future of cryptocurrency? And I honestly think it's not good. This crypto project was huge. It was top 10, there was billions of money involved in it. and I personally have got no faith of putting money back into that project. I know they want to recover it, but who is going to put money back in when they can literally lose 70%? This is a lot of people who thought it was stable. The stock market's been crashing, so they're thinking, let's put money in there. It's going to help me get some money back. It'll help me counter inflation, and look what's happened. And I feel like there has been a bit of a downward spiral with cryptocurrency. There's been all of these little DeFi projects that are offering 10,000%, 100,000% returns, and it's nowhere near that. I've invested in about 10 of these. There's been Wonderland Time, there's been Titano, there's been Spartacus, there's been Sphere Finance. As lately, I did a Police and Thief NFT game, and to be honest, on a couple of them I made a bit of money, but on the majority of them I lost. And it's not because these aren't fantastic projects, because some of them really are, and the things they're trying to do are really cool. But the problem with this is the community. Now I know the crypto community will cringe at me when I say that, but hear me out. Within the crypto community, you've got a really weird mix of people, and you've really got three types. You've got the new investors who don't really know what's going on. They jump in everything pretty much too late when they've seen a YouTube video which someone else has been in a project for a month, and they think, oh, this is great, but actually they've already made the money and it's kind of dropped off. You've then got the few people which are a small select bunch. I know people think they all believe what's going on, but to be honest, there's only a small collection of people that actually understand the project. And it's not to be harsh, but the IQ you actually need to understand some of these is super high. But then the problem comes is you've got this vast majority of people who are kind of like a meme culture, and they're the kind of community you would expect to see on a video game. So for example, if you were to join the Discord of one of these projects and you ask a question or say anything negative, they will literally jump on you and say that you're just a fearmongerer. But in these kind of projects, you should be able to ask questions. You should be sharing ideas, kind of collaborating to the project, and they should be taken on board. And these people kind of form like a herd mentality, and they're convinced that the project is going to succeed. And anybody that says otherwise is crazy. But the problem with this is they lose on one project, jump to another, and a very slim amount actually make money. And what it does do is drag new investors into these projects, and they lose, and then they lose, and then they lose, and then they don't want to invest in cryptocurrency whatsoever. I know from my experience, I've invested in 1, 2, 3 that have failed. Now this one, I was thinking, okay, well I'll keep in this one because it's stable and it works, and then this one's gone bust. So what do you do from here? Well, personally, if you're invested, I think you need to get out of this project ASAP. They've kind of burned through Luna already, and I can't see them getting any further. I've said this before, but crypto does need regulation to protect new investors, and also the people that don't fully understand it. There has to be some kind of protection which lets you advertise true facts. You shouldn't be able to just stick 100,000% or 1,000,000% return on a project. When it all goes bust, the owner shouldn't be able to walk away with hundreds of millions in profit while everyone else has lost money. I think there's going to be a long road in building up trust again within these projects. Part of the thing that needs to come with cryptocurrency is going to be more adoption. Even with the reductions in the market, there's still huge marketing partnerships being released. For example, the app I've just been working with, OKX, has just released a partnership with F1 McLaren just a few weeks after they've also partnered with Man City. So this actually shows that more adoption is coming and it's becoming more mainstream. Why I mention OKX is they've actually got a feature I've been looking for a while with cryptocurrency, and that is that you can buy with a recurring buy. So why would you want to buy recurring? Well, I think personally you should stick to the best cryptocurrencies. Everybody wants a piece of the crypto market and wants to be involved just in case it does go crazy high, but I think you should stick to the ones that have been around so long, so your Bitcoin, Ethereum, and maybe a couple of others. These small coins are great, but to be honest, it's just pretty much a gamble. And being brutally honest, which people don't like, what do some of these do that Ethereum or Bitcoin can't already do? A lot of them are just making their own version. To be honest, there probably doesn't need to be more than 5, possibly 10 cryptocurrencies. So what I've been doing on this app is just setting up a recurring buy. So what you can do is just choose to buy Bitcoin, this amount every month, and just set and forget. The market is atrocious at the moment and everything is really down. And that's a time that people are so scared to buy. And even talking to some of these platforms, their sales are way lower in a bear market compared to a bull market. But what's funny is when you look back on a chart, these are the times you probably should be buying. You look back and think, oh, I wish I would have bought then, oh, I wish I would have bought then. But the people who did buy then were the ones that bought when everything was low and they waited for it to come back up. I know it seems like everything should be a rainbow and should be shooting back up, but that's just not how a market works. I think cryptocurrency does have a strong future, and I personally do love cryptocurrency and some of the things it can do. What I don't like is the meme culture and people with such inexperience just YOLOing the price. So I hope this was useful for anyone who's maybe invested or thinking of investing in cryptocurrency. I know it's a rough time at the moment. If you need somebody to talk to, please leave a comment down below, share your experience if you've lost in any kind of way. Even with the stock market at the moment, if you want to have a chat, just let me know. So once again, thank you guys, and I'll see you in the next video.